everybody.
Hello.
Everybody who is not everybody yet, but everybody who will be everybody soon. Currently, everybody is nobody. Okay. So, a lot of people in the shop, a lot of things going on in the shop today. Rob and Chelsea are cutting out EVA foam for the laser cutter. Stan is working on files for the laser cutter. Alan is refining the Grouch sculpt. Not Oscar the Grouch, that's copyrighted. And it's certainly not a Grinch. That is copyrighted. It's a Grouch. Caveman version of Doug Grinch. Have to get a necessary sculpting tool.
Sitting there going through Neanderthal, some Magnan, trying to think of play on words for.
I did give him a lot heavier brow all the way, but I'm pretty happy with it. At this point now, it is just I'm refining. So yeah, hi everybody. And Rob, you said we're out of UltraCal, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely gonna need. Probably stand to get 2 bags of it, no problem. We'll need more than that in January.
Oh yeah.
People always ask me, when does it slow down for you?
No.
No.
Just no.
It just doesn't. And that's an embarrassment of riches.
Well, certainly an embarrassment. Yeah, I was talking to somebody, we're talking about the off season. I'm like, I don't have one of those. I remember off seasons fondly. But we don't have them. Because we have a very short window right now to work on Monster Museum stuff. And then we have to work on Transworld stuff. And today, I found out what the theme is going to be for the haunt in October, which is lovely, at my meeting. I can't announce it, but it went very well. So, like, is the Grinch based on an animal? I don't think he is.
No, he's just a who.
Yeah.
He's a who that's green within me.
He's an angry who?
Yep.
And he doesn't hate Christmas. He hates people.
Like me.
Like me. I don't hate Christmas. I just hate people. I went to the mall on Monday to do some Christmas shopping thinking, oh, it won't be that crowded. But those kiosk guys were super aggressive.
Why do you hate yourself?
I hate going out on weekends to begin with.
Because if I go to a mall on a Friday or a Saturday or Sunday, I'm going to get in a fight.
Married.
Or a weekday after.
I'm going to get in a fight.
I'm just going to walk in and punch you.
That's right. Get out of my way. Where's your Christmas spirits? At home on my couch.
Hopefully it won't feel like musicals.
That's perfect.
Okay.
This is all surgery.
Hello, Jordan. Hello, Scott. We have Rob. We have Chelsea. We have Stan. And candlesticks. How long do you wait for what? I'll listen. And by listen, I mean check back later. Just like listening.
Are you going to Mr. Pinky?
For me. Put that on me.
Okay. So, on this guy, he's in pretty good shape. I mean, he's coming along and looking for different brushes to smooth him out a little bit and give some different textures. I often will keep brushes that have paint on them because it stiffens the bristles just a certain amount. Instead of being a brush with 200 hairs, now it's a brush with 28 hairs, but they're really thick and scratchy, and that has a certain look.
If I don't throw it away first.
Right. Sometimes Rob throws it away, and I yell at him.
They're tools, Ron.
They're tools.
Like that ball of aluminum foil. Still mad about that.
A little aluminum ball.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
3 of them before he wrote on there, "Do not throw this away, this is my tool."
What was it, a texture stamp?
It was, he was using it to make snowman eyes.
Okay. What I'm doing now is I'm going in and I'm cleaning up around the sculpture.
But they were aluminum balls.
Yeah, there was some of that. Wait, what? Is it a tool?
What did it look like? A crumpled up piece of aluminum foil? Can't imagine why you threw it away.
Who would throw it out away?
And you know what? You also threw away in the early days the marking tool for the mask holes
Yes, I did.
because it's 2 markers taped to a stick, but they're exactly the right distance apart to make the holes for mask straps. And then for a while you had the habit of leaving the caps off of them. Because you are a barn-raised savage.
Yeah, like 25 cents a dead rat. Living in that barn.
How's it going, Stan? Sounds like you stopped the progress.
I did.
Oh, did it stop itself?
It stopped itself. All this stuff on here is red, saying that it's printable, but it only did 2%. The rest it just.
Just run it again. And see. So right now I kind of want to be refining the face and working on this, but it's difficult. I really like the way that the hair turned out on the other Grouch masks that I made, and I do not have this little unit here, but I think it's worth leaving that piece on, this piece, to form the hair around. And I know it's too fine for you guys to see, but I am just making nice little lip grooves in this with this brush.
Oh, yeah.
The
So we do this one,
Yeah.
it's just these are nice and stiff, so and wet is so soft.
Oh, these stilts are at 18 and a half inches.
Okay, but that's the setting.
Yeah.
Would you then tape everything on those stilts from the foot plate to the foot?
Tape it.
Tape it or saran wrap or whatever.
And what would you like me to do? You want to help with that?
Yeah, I'll probably need you to hold it.
Close this door and keep some of this heat here.
Yeah, the crusty brush gives me a nap.
It's one pretty cool.
What is the Grouch? He doesn't wear clothes. He just has a big, hairy green body. Hello, everybody. Oh, you'll have to wait. I cannot tell you the haunt theme announcement. But I found out what it is, and I just thought you should know that I know. I wasn't implying that I thought you should know.
I think I know what it is.
Robbie with 33% chance of knowing.
Well, was that there's a piece of paper that was laying over here.
There were 3.
No, it was one piece of paper. And,
I don't know which one it was. But
well, I can't say.
I wrote papers out for all 3 ideas.
Yes, but this was just one.
I know, because I needed it to, I had project board sitting over here. I needed to cut the project board to the right size. So currently I'm dousing my sculpture in baby powder to dry it up a little bit. Hey guys, these don't go away. Turn these into strips for me.
Okay.
That's a lot of real estate.
Yep.
It's free real estate.
1-inch strips, right?
Just do like a 2-inch strip or whatever. Hello, whoever just said hi. Hey, Chris. Okay. Now, in all honesty, the way that this mask is sculpted, it has mouth moving potential, because if you cut out all this, all you have to do is pad the actor's chin onto this, and when they open their mouth, this will move. So I could easily just say, yes, it's a moving mouth mask, but I haven't done any work on it in order to make that be true, even though it is true without me doing any work. This helps me see the detail a little bit better. It lets me see the deep areas. And all the boogers from detailing, this kind of brushes away. And your sculpture just looks drier. And since I want this to be a dry thing, that's what I want. If I was doing like a fish man, I would not baby powder it. I don't want a fish man to look dry. I might wet it a little more to smooth it out. Yes, the teeth are part of the sculpture. The teeth will be molded right in there. I'm thinking about changing out some of these teeth. I think they're a little too big. Why do I think they're too big? Maybe they look a little cartoony. Maybe this is based off a cartoon. So maybe that's okay.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you please
Still.
repeat it?
I said sorry and I thought it was Siri. This guy came together really quick last night. I think I sculpted about 2 hours on him.
You open it to me.
But I am. And nice and flat, Rob.
Yes,
Keep
sir.
that nice and flat. Here's why. You are making a core for a mold. Got me?
Gotcha.
So we're gonna sculpt around it, we're gonna foam around it, and then we'll be able to we'll actually make a positive of that. How'd the second pass go?
Yeah.
This is looking appropriate. I'm okay with this. Let me get the air.
I'll make sure it's fine.
All right. That is the Grouch as it stands. It also gets the boogers away. No, this clay does not harden. I had about 15 hours in a mask once that I sculpted. Randomness, your next mask should be a skull. Make a nice human skull. It's really great sculpting practice, and if you do it right, it'll, help you down the road. Chris, I don't know where you live, but you would have to live kind of near me to be my apprentice. The best way to get a start in this industry is to start in this industry. I know that sounds a little ridiculous, but do you work for a haunted house right now? Because haunted houses want you to work for them. Find one, work for it. You're started. What type of clay is the best for mask making? I can't answer that. I prefer wet clay because it's fast. I like speed. That makes me happy. Okay. I'm really liking what's happening. A few little things I need to clear up and clean up. But I'm very happy overall with the sculpture. I'm struggling with a couple things with it. Here's what I'm struggling with. It is a cartoony thing. In my brain, I thought I would sculpt it, put the forms down, and then I would go in and detail it as if it were a real creature and not cartoony. What that will do, though, is that'll make someone who looks at it think that I don't understand forms and that I wanted to do something realistic. So I think by leaving it kind of smooth, people will understand looking at it, it's cartoony and not just poorly sculpted. They'll realize it's cartoony and poorly sculpted. Up in here in the corner of the eye, it's always kind of hard to get in there and make it look right. I tend to look at it this way, but you gotta look at it from up underneath. I don't have any plans on making a stilt grouch, but a lot of my costumes or my masks end up on stilt walkers, so they get looked up at quite a bit. And that is another level of scrutiny that some masks don't have to endure. There we go. I think I'm happy with this. Chelsea,
Yes.
come here and look at this for me. Tell me what you think. Take a look.
Look. Are you wanting me to check for like symmetry or just my opinion?
Just look. Tell me what you think.
I like them. I like all the big shapes. Gives them a lot of personality. I like how you do the wrinkle texture too. Is that with a brush?
It's with this brush that has paint dried on it,
Uh huh. Smart.
because when you feel it,
Nice.
so I keep brushes that are kind of crusty,
Mm-hmm.
so I can just brush in this weird texture.
You got that really good balance of like toony and scary.
And that's the tough part that I'm having trouble with
I
is
think it looks great.
figuring out. I think I'm going to stop it.
Yeah, you are. Nice.
Okay. I'm gonna pledge it then.
Legend.
Rob, want to take a look at it, see if I missed anything? Everything looks like it's on purpose.
Yes. Yes.
Any obvious tool marks, you know, that was scratched in as opposed to a wrinkle or anything like that.
There's a little under here.
Smooth that out, would you? Yeah, I didn't get up under there and look. You might want to explain why your face is multicolored today, Rob.
We
You look a little methy.
we did a photo shoot today at dark hour. We did it. Should I tell them what it was inspired?
Sure.
There's an artist called Basil Gogos, and he is very rich in color use. And so we did a photo video shoot today, and all of the creatures that were in the video was high contrast, bright colors. So like this was all blue with yellow, and you can see that there's red over here. It when you see it, it's going to be beautiful. But Google Basil Gogos. It looks like a Smurf and a leprechaun had a baby. Thanks.
And then we painted him.
And then we painted them. There's that.
Oh yeah, and can you pour up a pig in?
Yeah. I can do that. All right, you shouldn't have any catches or anything right now. So, budge away. While you're doing that, I'll go pour up a pig in 640.
This is Pledge furniture polish. I'm putting on one coat for now, but I'll put on probably 2-3 more coats before I mold this guy. I think I'm molding him tomorrow because I don't have enough plaster to mold him tonight. Okay. What advice do I have for someone wanting to start an FX business, but lives in an apartment and has to save up to buy materials? Build small things. Make small special effects. I don't know.
Small sculpts, resin molds.
Yeah, I mean, just practice sculpting. Get you can do a lot of sculpting practice before you have to mold anything. Once you're proficient, I do believe you should mold. But yeah, sculpt some jewelry, do some little resin work. You know, make monster rings, make monster, I don't know, make monster stuff, little stuff. Because you don't have a lot of space. So work small. There's one guy who's on every now and then, and he works on action figures, and he makes his own action figures. So he'll buy action figures and sculpt over top of them and then remold. So that's fun.
I would love to learn how to make action figures.
You just sculpt them and mold them.
It's mostly the joints. Like there's so many different types of joints and getting them the right size, especially.
Normally you just buy the joints.
Oh, smart.
Is it best to do a 1-part mold or a 2-part mold for a mask? If you're doing a full head, it's going to be a 2-piece mold because you won't be able to get your head form out of the mold. And cleaning out the clay would be a nightmare. So a two-piece is what you want to do. And I have plenty of videos like that on my latex mask making, what do they call it? Playlist. I have a latex mask making playlist on my YouTube channel, which you're on right now. I won't have to tell you how to get to it. So now I have to find a home in there for them. Now I have this guy ready to go. I'm going to transfer him to over here. I'm going to work on this piece. Okay. They're very far away. And that's fine. I think you want to be far away. Sometimes I think you want to be further away and see more of the shop. It looks like Stan is in the middle of some action, but he's not. He's pushing buttons.
What you got?
Nothing. What you got going on?
We're on our second page. And
Did the first one cut okay?
first one cut okay. I had a little bit of problems with the etching, but I think I got it now.
Okay.
Hey, what would you like me to do?
This is so finicky, man.
Yes. Oh, is the pigment already poured up?
Yep.
Right, gotta pick it.
Yeah, we're gonna pour up and pull 2 piggins, and we'll pour up 1 more after that. And then I want you to paint up on the mold. There's an insect mask right inside of there that is already poured up.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is
I'm
it
gonna,
still in the mold or is it?
it's in the mold. Bring in the mold, and I'm gonna have you foam it so that we can pull it for the monster.
The Mothman.
It's an insect. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with you guys. Okay, these are good. Pretty much what I wanted. Great. That lovely sound is my wife being home. Finally. Stan is working on the laser cutter in the other room. So. But he's working in here, but the laser cutter is in the other room.
And I'm assuming I'm using expanding foam?
Up here, there should be some soft foam, like F3 foam, up here, and I see like a gallon jug of at least one of them.
I like to show this person.
Here, that's why we have grabbers. And I'll get you a stepping stool so you can reach better, even better.
It's not the big ones, right? No, those are F3.
It's the gallon.
Or is it the foam?
What?
The foam it?
Is that foam at 5 or 3?
5.
I'll see how much is there. Do I have enough?
I can't reach.
Why I gave you a grabber.
Yeah, there's enough.
Okay?
I gotta blow this out.
Yeah, blowing it out's good.
Where's this first? Let's see how much I can get out this way.
Are there respirators?
Not much.
For what?
I use respirators. Nope.
Not any at all.
I think there is. Bottom drawers. Look at some of these bottom drawers. One of them has respirators.
That's all bones.
You do. Hey Rob, can you tell a story?
Yeah.
I have to go. Shannon just got home. I'm gonna go check in with my wife. So I like her.
pretty likable.
Robert, that won't.
What? The one I'm blowing out right now?
You know how to use that flex moment?
I have used it before.
Now's a
This is
great
the-
time to read the label.
Okay.
It's been a while. I
And
have used it before.
answer questions on the camera, as well as, yeah.
Story time.
Story.
Who's story, Rob?
Story time. Well, let's see. Yeah, I am a hot mess of just color and misery. Isn't that fantastic? So, it's best to do a 2-part mold or a 1-part mold for a mask. User mileage may vary. It depends what you're trying to do. You're welcome. Hey, Lassiter, where did you get this shirt from? Which shirt?
Which shirt?
Yeah, you need to be more clear than that, Lassiter. Hello, Kirk.
We have many shirts.
Yeah, I got a dark hour shirt. I got that at
Stan's wearing a
Kmart.
shirt.
He's wearing a hardcore shirt, which
I was gifted at Transworld a couple
gifted
years
at
ago.
Transworld. So story time. Last week, Alan's shirt. Is he?
He's
What's he wearing? Is he
It's
wearing?
a Texas.
Oh,
shape.
Texas Haunters shirt. Texas, yeah, it's damn Texas Haunters. And, yeah. So, story time. So last week, I woke up Tuesday with a pretty rough cough, whole body racking cough.
Yeah, and he gave it to all of us.
And I came in as Typhoid Corey. I got everybody sick. I got Stan, I got Chelsea sick. Everybody had like 102-degree temperature. We're all laid out, miserable, just awful time. I slept for 2 days. Then I had to get up and go work at dark hour because we did our Wreck the Hall show this weekend. So I didn't really have to pretend to be a miserable, grumpy Santa Claus. It just kind of, I wasn't really acting. I was just kind of running fever and standing in a costume and scaring people.
Do you have cups that I can mix these in?
Yes, I
This
do.
stuff will
See
expand
these cups right there?
fast.
It will. You can use these.
Um,
You think those are big enough?
I don't think so. Oh, I need at least one bigger one.
To pour them both into, yes?
I always double mix that stuff just to get it mixed.
Well, good luck with that.
Are you sure?
I'm going to give you 2 different colors. Here you go.
I don't think that'll be enough.
We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Are those any bigger? No. So, no. There's got to be something. Something we can use.
I mean-
Because
Are you sure that stuff expands 10 times, but will half of this? Because I gotta pour out this into one.
don't know. Don't know. But over the last weekend, we had the big. Was it last weekend? Krampus walk.
Yeah.
No. It's weekend
Yeah, it was
before
last weekend.
Was it last weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the big Dallas Krampus walk. It's probably about 300 people, full Krampus costumes, walking around Deep Ellum, which is a music district in Dallas. And everybody had a very good time. Got to take my kids for the first time. Hey, Alexander. It was fantastic. For full mask. Hello from Scotland. Buy some clay and sculpt. Back to the FX business. Do smalls, man. Thank you, Tiffany. Make a Krampus. I'm one of the members of Krampus Society. We've been doing the walk in Deep Ellum for 6 years. The first year was just 3 of us in an ice storm in Alan Hopp's Stiltby Studios Krampus costumes, and we just wandered around in an ice storm. The 3 of us. People are like, what are you doing? Everybody's like, we're doing a Krampus walk. And people are like, what's Krampus? And that was 6 years ago. But now Krampus is practically a household name.
Do y'all mixing sticks?
Do we use mixing sticks? Yes. Do you need some of those? See this thing that says bits and gubbins? It's not enough. See this thing that says miscellaneous? There you go.
So I can just use anything.
Yeah. They're just paint sticks. He just grabs them in bulk anytime he goes to one of his stores.
I have new here. It's my first day.
Kind of into gift wrapping, kind of making it in kind of gift wrapping. His body will hold the presents. That's cool. That's
Wait, what
very
is
cool. There, she's talking about making a Krampus. Is this your water?
My water was over there.
I think your water got brought over here.
Sweet.
Yeah, Monster Camp. Woo, Monster Camp. Are you going to the January one? And that's, Stan and I will both be there for that one. And I think either the weekend before or the weekend after, we're going to Hong Kong and New Orleans. So,
Are you going to Hong Kong?
probably.
Nice.
People are always like, when's your downtime? We don't
what's
have a
downtime?
downtime. We do not have a downtime. If like right now, we just wrapped up the last of our Christmas orders, so like 6 packs of elves, Krampuses. Yeah, there is no downtime. And now he's working on his Grouches. We've got a lot of Santa stuff that goes out. Like this year for Dark Hour, I'm playing Father Christmas. Normally I play the Rat King, but this year I'm doing Father Christmas because this delightful beard, which I keep trying to shave, and they keep casting me in roles that have beards. So there you go. Someday. That's going to be fun. Hey, Steven. Steven did a really good Krampus. His Krampus, the old white Krampus that you saw in the photos.
Yeah.
That was Steven Scott.
Sweet.
He's a regular follower on here. He did a really good job. Looks great. Come on. Open.
Can you hand me one more purple Hefty
Purple Hefty Cup. Is that what they are? Yeah, they are. They're Hefty party cups.
Also used for hefty chemicals.
Usually $5 at the keggers. Then you can just fill as much as you'd like. Nope. Having trouble adding fur to the body. Well, there's a lot of different ways that we do fur here, but one of the ways that we do regular, the way I usually fur things is I'll use a silicone, like an iron grip, or an adhesive clear silicone, and then you go in and you lay your line, and then you put your hair in on it, and then once you're done with that, you go back and you paint over it so it blends the hairline into the color of the mask or the costume.
You use your muscles.
Muscles. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay. One second.
It's been a second.
Don't be panicked. Don't be a jerk. Don't be a jerk.
And you're allowed to do it?
I wasn't being a jerk. I'm not a jerk, that's just my nature. See if we can get this thing open.
I do. Sweet.
Sometimes it's just a leverage. Had to break that seal. Let's see what we got. I'm New Orleans. When and what is the Haunt Con here? The Haunt Con takes place in the New Orleans.
17th, 16th, 17th. It's called like Halloween and Costume Expo.
Yeah, Halloween and Costume Expo. It takes place in the New Orleans Convention Center. It's right across from Mulat's, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. And it's fantastic. That's where you get all the main distributors for all the costumes that you're going to see nationwide, like in a Spirit and Target and Walmart. And then HauntCon has a very small footprint there, but that's when you're going to find like more case specific. But if you only got to go to one haunted convention a year, I recommend Transworld. Transworld's.
Did you have to be under a haunt to do it though?
Well, they changed the rules last year.
Nice.
You can be a haunt fan. You can be a fan of haunted houses and still go. Registrate. Usually hotels already booked up. Airbnbs are probably your best bet at this point. But it is mind blowing. Yep. Got it. From Arkansas. Hello. Hello, Gene. Oh. So, good luck with that.
It's been a long time since I've worked with this stuff, so.
So we started that at 6:45. Now be careful, that off gas is cyanide.
I know.
Okay.
I'm gonna start bringing my own respirator. I
Three-
went
3
to
blocks
Alan-
away.
Went to Alan and I was like, hey,
Nice.
do you have any respirators? He's like, well, why do you need a respirator?
Because some of us want to live past 45, Alan. Looks like I'm going to make it past 45. Despite my best efforts. You'll probably have to do that multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
This is how we did it at that shop I worked at. I'm probably gonna need, yeah, I'm probably gonna need more.
Yeah, but don't rest on your laurels. Get that in there. 3 blocks away. Yeah, I like Transworld a lot. I mean, it's nice to see all the new product line coming out,
It's just
but
fun.
I mainly it's a networking opportunity. I get to meet and talk to people from all over the country. It's just a good time. It's business for sure. The one that's more of a social event is Midway, which now takes place in Schaumburg, Illinois. And the best part about that's the food, the pizza. I mean, I wouldn't buy any good tacos up there, but I can't get good Chicago pizza down here.
Chicago, good pizza.
Yeah, it's not even pizza; it's their pies, right? They're called pies. They're good.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need more batches.
Oh yeah, lots of them. But that's also going to expand.
Yeah, but maybe one more batch.
What is that?
Hmm? I don't know.
Okay, well, let's take it out.
I have it here.
You have a stick.
I have a stick. Got it. There's just a piece of plastic.
It's just what?
Piece of plastic.
Oh, well, that doesn't really matter. It's not going to mess with it. What's set time on this?
Well, it expands pretty fast once it starts.
Attack free in 5 minutes, handling strength in
Yeah, 5
20.
minutes.
Make sure we'll expand to 10 times normal volume, 5 pounds cell
We'll probably
structure.
have to do one more round.
It needs a full cure of 2 hours. Okay. I thought we were just going to do great stuff. Solid thing.
I mean, it would be more solid with great stuff. This stuff is soft.
Stan, how's things going over there?
Free for all.
Free for all?
Yeah.
Still left the West Coast 20 years ago? Oh, sorry. Is that what I call it? Thanks, Lassiter. Always count on you. Another cool thing about St. Louis, though, for Transworld is the City Museum. That is an amazing time. It's like Willy Wonka and an engineer had a fever dream and built a museum around it. It's fantastic.
Starting to expand.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Look at all mushrooms.
Oh, there it is.
Probably gonna have to do another round. I'm gonna see how far the stuff goes.
Well, if it's 10 times the volume,
It'll probably be a little over halfway.
probably. Might as well get your other one going.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
Yep. I've worked with
Mingling, wrapping, great ops for us. How effective is the Flexi Dip and Sealing Dome? Do you recommend another product? We use it all the time. Stan would actually be a good answer man for that question. He has a lot of experience
What's up?
crafting cosplay stuff. How would you say Plastic Dip is good at sealing EVA foam?
Oh, it works great.
That's a standard, I believe.
I was about to say.
If you're gonna wear it a lot, I would consider maybe getting Epsilon and
What?
actually painting it. Epsilon is a 2-part resin. You get it from Smooth On.
Okay.
So Epsilon's made for sealing EVA foam. That's really what they designed it for.
Oh,
So it's not a spray. You brush it on. If you can get it, give it a try. The Plastic Dip is solid, but if you get a lot of wear and people are bumping into it and it's crunching, you'll see it start to see it wrinkle, and it can actually sometimes, if you put it on too thick, can peel off the EVA foam.
oh,
So Epsilon will lock it down. You can also
Can you metalize it and all that stuff? And, okay.
You can paint it like it can look like just like it's metal. You
Okay.
can do you can put rust on it. You can do all those sort of things. It's really cool stuff. The other thing, really old school, if you don't want to spend the money on Epsilon, is you can get Mod Podge.
Mod Podge?
And you paint it with Mod Podge, light coats, and you have to let it completely, totally dry, but then you're gonna have to do it about 6 times before you
Okay.
put any stress on it, any pressure on it at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can you just skip all that and do Warbler?
Warbler doesn't need to be sealed, really, does it?
You don't have to seal Warbler, but it's textured, almost like a really super light grit sandpaper.
Oh, it is.
So you have to sand it, put body filler or put wood putty, and then sand it, and then do it again, and sand it, and then do it again.
Warbler's a plastic, right?
It's a thermoplastic.
Well,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question then. Because a friend of mine 3D prints props and things for the 501st.
Uh-huh.
And what he does is after he'll print something out, he'll put it in an acetone bath, which takes the ridges off.
Right.
Would that work on the Warbler?
You will, well, it sticks to it, like when you heat it, that's how it takes its form and it'll stick. It's got glue properties that sort of stick to itself.
Okay.
You could ruin that glue properties by putting it in a solvent.
Okay. See, this is why we ask these questions.
I personally use, if I'm making armor,
I don't know the answer to that, Tiffany.
I built a Mandalorian costume from the ground up and everything on it is Sintra.
Okay.
And you don't have to use spot putty. You don't have, it's called expanded PVC foam.
Okay.
Sintra is like a really expensive fancy name, but you can look up expanded foam or expanded foam boards on Amazon, and you heat it with a heat gun. You can get it all the way from paper thin to 1/4 of an inch thick if you want it. I use like the thickest I used on my armor was 3 millimeter, and you can sand it, prime it, paint it, metallics, rust. You can use for weathering. I used a soldering iron to go in and make scratches in it. There were permanent scratches, so I could go back later and do washes and stuff. So
Nice.
if I get my way, if I'm building something that I actually have the space to heat form it around the right form, I go with Sintra or expanded PVC.
Yeah, that worked out great. Okay.
Oh, you have to.
I use Flexi Dip after corpsing with plastic bags. Good stuff. Interesting.
I'm just mixing cake batter. That's how I was taught.
That's not a cake I would eat. I wouldn't eat that cake batter. Flexi Dip after corpsing. I have never thought to use Flexi Dip while corpsing. I'm going to try it though.
You're like, no, I'm sure.
Jazz, no idea. She is foam filling a latex mask that we're going to use at the Monster Museum. Stan is currently working on some patterns for our laser cutter for our EVA work. And I am filling in here and there. I'm playing the part of Alan at the moment. Of course, I'm not sculpting anything at the moment. It's used for wrench handles. Nice, yeah, that's true.
How was Rob's story?
It's good.
Many stories.
Actually, Lassiter was asking about your shirt. I said it was Dan Texas Hunter.
Did you grease this up so that the foam wouldn't stick to it?
No, I should probably do that now.
Yeah.
What should I grease it up with?
Vaseline?
No,
Rob, please get me some Vaseline.
Johnson's paste wax or Vaseline.
Because this stuff's going to start mushrooming.
Let's go, let's go. There you go. I can't get it open.
Yeah, this edge up here and this.
Okay.
Use a brush.
Yep.
That's
And this is soft foam, right?
yes. Foam at 5. That's the one you told me.
This is rigid foam.
That's the one you told me to cut.
I said soft foam.
You said foam at 5.
No. Actually, originally what I said to you was I said to use the F3 right there. And I said in the gallon containers. That's F3. It's possible that will come out of the mold. It's possible. Oh yeah, yeah. They just rigid foamed the hell out of that sucker. But I didn't look beforehand, so that's on me.
Yeah, I asked you like the foam at 5, and I pointed at it.
Flex foam at 5 is perfect for that application. That is just foam at 5. So it's okay. I think we'll be all right because even rigid foam is flexible before it fully hardens. So we should have some time to demold this.
Okay. So do you think once it stops expanding?
I'm going to start trying to free it right now.
Okay.
Which end is up?
That's up.
What? Would you grab that and bring it over here?
Grab what?
The camera? Bring it over on this side of us.
You want some gloves?
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, and Rob,
Yeah.
never cut this flashing off
Okay.
when you're doing a foam, because this is how you pull. So if you cut that off, you don't have much to pull from.
You got
And whenever you're doing, I got it. Whenever you're doing a foam run, you want to paint latex up over the edge, all the way over the edge, all the way around,
Gotcha.
so
You're
that
flashing the pole.
yeah, so you have flash and that protects it. You don't have to foam. You don't have to grease the mold then,
Okay.
because grease gets stuck in the plaster,
Yeah, it does.
and latex won't whip latex if it's got grease on it. So this is rigid foam. You never put rigid foam
In a rigid
in
mold.
a
No.
rigid mold. If you know, and I said read the label, then why did that happen?
I did read, you said to read the label.
Well, the first word of the label after the name is rigid.
I asked you.
I said read the label. I got it wrong. Oh, so hot and burny.
It is very warm.
And what you don't want to do is get over this mold and breathe real heavy because it's putting off some fumes. So as you're struggling to pull this out before the foam fully cures, don't inhale with the struggle or you'll dial. This is very much a rigid foam, but
Oh, there it is. That's why.
remember the eyes are bulgy?
Yep, I remember.
And the reason why you don't do rigid into rigid
You can't do that.
is because it's going to lock. There's every little thing that sticks out. That's already really hard. Every little thing that sticks out is going to lock into this mold. Got me a big pair of pliers from my stand. Can you get actual pliers? Look,
Keep saying it. Pliers.
great.
That'll do.
This is awesome! I never screw up this bad on video. This is great.
This is great.
Find it.
Because normally things go well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I make stuff look easy.
Well, there was a
They're all like, you jerk, it's harder than that.
there was a sewing incident.
Not today!
Not today, Steve.
It's almost there.
I gotta spin it. Yeah, I got you this. Got you fishing. Fishing right here.
Yo.
Come on, fish man. Actually, it's an insect.
Bug guy.
Simple.
Where's the big? Oh, there they are.
Those are black.
It's a very well-built mold,
It is.
so I'm gonna try to pry against it.
I hear it giving away.
Spin it. Let me get the other side. Start reading comments, answering questions. Read them out loud so we can answer them.
Tap the left side of it. They'll pop back up. Nope. Just the left side of the screen. I hear it.
Yes. Wants to give up. Give it up.
They're asking if you could blow air between the mask and the mold.
Air is not strong enough for this.
Oh, great.
And it's not a seal so much as it's a mechanical lock. Okay, stop. It's a mechanical lock. The thing in the mold is bigger than the hole it's in.
Mechanical.
Because we have put expanding foam into it, which then expanded and became rigid.
Can you see that one corner?
I can see
Gotta
under
get over
the
that.
eyes.
Yeah. We gotta get over that, under that. Without breaking it. Yep.
There it is. There it is.
Yep.
Push, baby, push.
Because mistakes are the greatest teachers. We all make them.
Get under it.
Rigid mold. You don't use a rigid foam in a rigid mold.
Got it. I'll hold it, you wanna push?
I don't know if I was going to be question that it was just.
Oh, I do not have the strength for that.
Here, try this way.
Try it with this.
Try and get this side out more on edge. I think it'll come out.
What?
Like that.
Now I'm looking for damage. How much damage was done to the mold?
Not much.
Okay.
How much of that's plastic?
Air blow that out
Yes, sir.
and then fill it and run it.
Okay.
Is that usable?
Might be.
Pull the shape.
Ding.
Whew.
Take this and think about what you've done. Always read the label. Go ahead and take the Loctite. Try to use a can.
This Loctite just like this stuff.
It's like great stuff. Spray water down in there, then spray the Loctite.
What does the water do?
Help it cure faster. Okay, so that was fun. Yeah, that was fun.
Do you have a spray bottle of water or just try to print it?
I do have a spray bottle of water. It's on the sculpting table right now. The whole reason why we foamed it is to put it on a plaque for the Monster Museum. That's why it's there. So I just finished off that head. Shake it. If there's liquid in it, it'll still work. Dead End Yard Haunt wants to know if we have to call 911 for Rob. You're
He's been
wheezing
crawling
and
for a
coughing.
week.
Yeah.
He's been crawling around for a hot minute.
I'm still alive.
No, paint thinner turpentine will not eat this foam. There are so many different kinds of foam. Foam just means it's made up of bubbles. And those bubbles could be EPS, which is expanded polystyrene. And yes, acetone and spray paint and all that eats that kind of foam easily and quickly. It could also be upholstery foam. You can spray paint upholstery foam, no problem. So this foam it's a polyurethane foam. It's a little closer to the upholstery foam than it is to EPS, expanded polystyrene. And it's a pretty hard foam, so we had to do it before it really cured all the way. But it's very rigid. So all the nooks and crannies of the mold, the latex went into, and then this goes in and expands and it's pushing on those walls. So you need flex foam to make sure that you can have compression to pull it out. So there's Flex Foam 3 and there's Flex Foam 5, and both of them
But they have to be.
Flex Foam, and it's Flex Foam at 3, Flex, and then Foam at 3. You know, and the only difference is that flex in there.
That makes a big difference.
And a lot of other foams have designations like F32 or R32, flexible and rigid. That's what the F and R are for.
Should I just pop this off?
Okay, that's squishy. I would take one of these.
Looks like we made it.
It's too big. Okay, if I move everything around, I gotta move everything 4 times and hope they perfectly line up so I can do it tomorrow afternoon or tonight, come back in the morning.
Gotcha. So you just got a helmet.
I can do.
That's what we're doing,
So this is-
cobwebs and candlesticks. At least it wasn't the post foam.
This is the only one.
Yeah, that post
everything
foam is
like
hot.
like
But
size
it,
fit
it,
that I
it does some
have.
great stuff.
Nice.
The only thing I couldn't figure out, but I'm still trying to figure out why, is there were words on there too. And just ignore it. To tell you like what kind of bevel, the label of the piece, the whole 9 yards. Weird. But worst case is, you can write them on here.
So,
Hey, Chelsea, you mixed the foam correctly.
I know I did.
It's kind of helmet.
because she kind of read the label.
Yeah.
Which
But it also didn't.
What?
But it also didn't, apparently.
you want like the Krampus helmets?
Yeah, just helmets. They're all the same.
No, because I did the templates for the
Snowman?
half face and well, the 2 you gave me.
Oh, great.
Oh,
Great. Okay.
I like the Cyclops. I think the horn's fun.
And of course it broke.
But I like
The horn is what, Rob?
the horn on the Cyclops is fun.
Why?
I've never seen it.
Harryhausen.
Ray, Adventure, the Voyages of Sinbad, right?
Golden Voyage of Sinbad.
Pretty close. It was a Sinbad movie.
Get in there. Get in there.
Do your job.
He was one of the first names I knew. Like, I could recognize his style before I knew who it was. Sinbad, Clash of the Titans.
All right, so we're foaming up this head.
That's the art.
Yeah, I didn't seal that one quite well enough.
Garbage.
This one doesn't sound like it has anything in it.
This looks good.
Because it's new.
That one froze.
Uh-oh.
See how it's not?
It's all squishy.
Okay. Some of these are a year old. Go clean out my straw. When did you finish the sewer file, Stan?
Yesterday afternoon. I mean, I've had them for a while, but I tried to fix them to, because there has to be 2 files for each
You need a
one.
straw. This one is right there.
Okay.
Are we still on?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay. So the Glowforge doesn't have the ability to tell between you want to make a cut pass and a score pass at the same.
Right.
So there has to be 2 documents that overlap each other, and you just have to run them concurrently with one another.
Yes, do one then the other.
Then, yeah, do one then the other. So
Well,
the first big problem with it was the page I got it from was one bottom page, like designed to be printed in one giant sheet, hand cut, and then hand cut on the phone. So pulling all those apart, it turned out to be like 30 different files. It was a beast. Very appealing. It was very satisfying to get it broken down and set up the way it is now. It's going to be awesome.
Which almost worked.
It could work, and it would blow the rest of the night trying to
I
do
don't want to screw.
What do you mean? Unscrew, unscrew. It just unscrews. Yeah. I would love to watch you try and rip it off of there, and it would probably fly off,
Probably.
but it wouldn't be good.
This is the good one, right? Yeah.
Is it not unscrewing?
It's not.
Bring it here. Decided not to unscrew.
Okay. Okay.
Needle nose. So you never start with needle nose. Like, by the time you get to needle nose pliers, something has gone wrong. Here you go.
Thank you.
I have 5 sets of pliers put back in the plier drawer.
How much is this stuff expand?
Not that much, actually.
Please, Lord. This was the new one.
Rip that straw off and try it without the straw at all.
Okay. How did I go through it before?
Dear Lord, protect me from this terrible, terrible idea.
Going over here.
Oh, Lord. Run away, run away.
I hear something happening. Pokey stick.
Please don't. just pretend I did it right the first time?
It's on YouTube.
Stands up. You're like, oh.
This is a terrible idea, everybody.
What are you doing?
He ripped off the
What?
what are you doing?
Valley 9-1.
9-1.
He's ready. We're ready. Oh, oh.
That's a good sign. That was a bit of a start.
I don't have to explain much to him, it's all on what they get.
Something's happening.
More of a spare change shot than a money shot, I guess. But something. Could you squirt some water over here?
Yes. Where's the water at?
Throw that down.
Sweet baby Jesus.
This is thicker than normal.
That is. Is that the other one? There's one left.
Grab the next can.
The next one that isn't.
Yeah, we've had such great success. Throw that away. Grab the new one. I have a new can. No, it was new a year ago. And these have sat in a very cold shop.
Yes, they have. I don't think I want to stand down way too long.
There you go.
This is exactly what it's supposed to be doing.
It's like jet puff marshmallows. So what in water makes it cure faster?
Cures faster.
What in water? Well, the only thing in water should be water.
Is it just cooling it
Moisture.
off? Moisture. Okay.
It needs the water to expand. You know Zorbies?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of Zorbies.
It's just foam form.
Yeah.
Plastic to push down on
Go ahead, Rob. Now, let's come over here. Bring the camera over here, would you? Right here on the end of the table. I have, from an awesome company called Ghost Ride, a factory second. This is more like a factory 23rd because half his face is missing. Like, he's got nothing. He's like got, both his eyes are there, and then all this is missing. You can see it's just ripped out of the foam. It's a really nice sculpt. It's good details. It's a bust. And I got this from them at the Midwest Haunters Convention. One of the cool things that Ghost Ride does is they bring stuff like this to that show and almost have a yard sale. Factory seconds and shop accidents and all that. And that makes me very happy. And I'm going to rebuild his face with this foam here. This time I'll put on some gloves.
That might be a good idea.
Please.
This is trash.
I would say yes. Actually, Chelsea, pull those cans out of the garbage
Not
because
many of them. Because there's like 6 of them.
all of them.
All of them.
Because Home Depot will give me new cans for free.
Nice.
Will they?
Yeah, every single one of these was defective.
Oh. Well, yeah.
Do you want the little nozzles that go with them too? Or not really?
Once they're used, they dry in there and they're used.
No, I don't need them.
Okay.
Oh, you're right. There were multiple sheets. I only saw one.
Yes. This one, main which was Baba Yaga.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
You just like seeing photos.
You like saying Baba Yaga.
I still want to do this.
So what's the John Wick connection with Baba Yaga?
That's his
They
nickname.
call him that.
They do?
Yeah. They call him the Baba Yaga.
Why don't they call him John?
They
Or
call him-
Mr. Wick?
It was his
Mr.
code name
Oh.
because he was as powerful as the Russian witch.
Alexa, countdown, 4 minutes.
Basically rebuilding.
4
Got
minutes,
all-
I
starting
still
now.
want to big chicken hut stilt character.
So do I. That was going to be in the graveyard if that one happened.
I think we could do that as a walk around for all the stars.
Yeah, it's
It's
possible.
not all the way inside this.
Have your own shade with you, that's the upside.
When I originally-
Little fan
when I
there.
looked on there,
Little mini fridge.
It's half an inch on one side and 1 inch on the other
You
side.
have to completely rebuild
Because all, see all these break lines and
Yeah.
everything, they have to go into there.
All I'm doing now is I'm bringing this foam right up to the edge of where it's ripped away. I don't want to cover any of their sculpture.
The idea is.
I only want to
it. Hey,
remake.
Chelsea?
See how that is?
I only want to remake the areas that they have
So did you,
messed up.
yeah, did you have to do like a setting to beef and mushrooms so that there's a catching and then just
Right. But
And this foam is probably a urethane foam. It's probably a self-skinning foam. It's really nice, really strong.
software.
I can't imagine what ripped that face off of there.
The other thing the software does is group.
I messed up in the spirit. Mad at you.
Was I mad? How mad was I?
I am now. I got the black.
You weren't here during the great sewing machine incident.
What was that about?
Sewing machine incident?
Yeah, I don't know.
Alan almost killed me.
Wife, how's it going over there?
What's good? Thumbs up.
How? If you were here reading comments, that would be awesome.
Hey, Shannon comments.
You're gonna have to wait a few minutes and let me
Okay.
turn things off and reset the kitchen.
Okay, then bring your laptop.
She wants you to. She does. Go ahead.
Bowl of soup.
Thank you, Shannon. You're welcome.
Ooh. It's hot.
Chelsea's new in the shop. She washes her hands before she eats.
She asked for respirators and washing.
Yeah.
Wow, I asked for a respirator.
And we laughed and we laughed.
We'll be telling that story for years, Chelsea.
My
Remember that
fault.
time she wanted a respirator?
I got one somewhere.
You know what's sad? I have a really expensive one with a really expensive interchangeable.
I got one of
And
those.
I've yet to bring it.
It's in one of these
I need to
drawers.
bring mine.
Mine's like hanging on a hook in my garage. Doing me no good here.
So Rob, this Santa suit fit you. Will it fit me?
Not well.
It looks more like a boxer's robe.
Yeah, that's the accordion.
Yeah, it's like you should be coming down ready to punch somebody.
Don't call it a comeback.
Yeah, the transition from hood to robe is different than I'm used to.
Yeah.
So now we need to get Santa Boxer.
I was
That's it.
just about to say that.
This is like a boxing robe.
It is like a boxer.
Santa versus Krampus.
Yeah, this shouldn't happen this way. It's not a good connection.
That'd be a really fun photo shoot.
Do you like mushroom soup?
Yeah, I do.
That's pretty good mushroom soup.
A boxing ring and Krampus and you. That'd be good.
I want to fight it.
We get Chris Melton to do the Krampus so it looks right.
Yeah, I want to fight him for a while.
I mean, it'd just be a sparring match, right?
Sure.
Sure.
Oh! My timer's up. That means my phone was ready for touching. Alexa, stop.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Christmas market with this one way, just to make sure everyone's over.
Yeah, it's not quite skinned enough. Alexa, countdown 3 minutes.
3 minutes, starting now.
And right now that just looks like a blob. But I'm gonna shape it into a blob that I like.
It's really nice. It kind of blends into the background.
It does.
What blends into the background?
My friend's Krampus suit. Pictures the same.
You know, wild goat.
This is
Oh, so nice. Yeah, yesterday I made myself a hot toddy. And like within 15 minutes, I'm like, I was out. I was literally.
So I'm waiting on that foam to get a skin on it so I can manipulate it, and I'll shape that mouth again. How goes the helmet cutting, Stan?
About to be done with the first one.
Oh, you don't know the apple in
Yeah.
it. So good.
Since I added so many more
I
shavings
did not
to
get
it,
over
it went up from six.
Cut time went way
It
up.
went from 6 to 8.5 minutes.
I don't know where she went.
The most thing that can be on there is range.
She's a fireman. That's one thing firemen do. She's a cook. It's their 3 days on, 3 days
It's
off.
not circles.
So
Great.
they spend so much time at the station.
I'll make that a priority on stage 2.
Yeah. I know she was, but I didn't know her head was too.
It's a family tradition.
If you want, I can also make a
As
full
such.
package of screens. Yeah, I'll take the time for it.
Got one.
You got one?
Yeah.
Alright, it's official.
Used to be
After this one cuts out, I'm cutting the whole wall.
the style of a feast for like.
Oh, for fumes.
Oh, it's really bad back there.
Good for you.
What's that?
Good for you.
Well,
Yeah.
well, in the kitchen.
You pretty soon over coffee.
Yeah. It's all Stan.
We're not a doctor, but I don't want to see.
Alexa, stop. On this side, I only want to manipulate.
So there's Siri. That's how.
Last one, it's something like 3 hours.
So Alexa's Google.
I just went right up to where the hole was. I don't mind if the mouth is off a little bit.
I think I'd like it to be just more. Yo, I'll put it on the list.
But you can see he's starting to get a face just with that foam. Patching, fixing.
Which one has apple in it?
I don't know. That was just straight up cheese. One more puppet over Jesus. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's the first time I've ever encountered it. It's really
Good.
with the sharp cheddar and the cheese and the apple.
I also think I'm going to do
It's like I can see where
a little bit of foam down here.
Slice of cheddar and an apple pie. Mm-hmm.
I did not want to make these recipes. They're simple.
this really
Alexa, countdown 4 minutes.
4 minutes, starting now.
My plan's to peel this piece up and build a chin on it. Had to babysit a little bit. It's like I'm sculpting with marshmallows.
It's 5:45.
It was 6:45. So I wasn't a fan of how this foam, the original foam in there, worked. It looked like it crumbled pretty much easily.
Well, we also broke out. Poop out of it.
The poop.
For that, we're gonna be able to just see
Need
it.
a chunk of plastic. There it is.
Deflate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay it on its back. So this is the mask, and now we have extra foam.
My God, that was delicious.
What's that now?
Everything Shannon makes is delicious.
Yes.
That post foam is hot stuff. We're still on that.
Haven't done post foam yet.
Looks like everyone's having a great time. Thank you, James. You can never have too many pliers. Drill a hole in it. We're not tri-panning it. Success, yes, that's when we got it out. Monsters don't need their whole face.
No, they don't.
So does the stuff.
I never understood it either. They might as well called him
Firmer than great.
Brasilia. He was madder at Rob over the sewing machine. Because Lassiter.
You broke my sewing machine.
I did not. You fixed it.
Just because I fixed it doesn't mean it wasn't broken.
What's
That's how breaking things work.
the foam rib cage in the background is a sculpting foam. I
Sculpting form, yes.
Sculpting form. He's got a name, right, Mr. Bones, something like that.
They don't sell them anymore.
Was wondering your opinion on the bonehead armature for sculpture. Lube your beard, bro. My beard, I do, but I came straight from a photo shoot.
Are they like hitting you with fashion sense?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
today I'm.
This is homeless Rob. Yeah.
That's a funny story. So I'm dressed as Heinrich for Halloween, and I come. We have this hedgerow, and we put. Alan over time has worn a hole in the center of the bush, which is really fun to stand there because it's right.
By walking through it, it's important you say how I wore a hole in something.
We hide in there a lot, and so we're sitting there, and it's right by the queue line, the outdoor queue line for Halloween. I come busting out as Heinrich. Person's like, "Oh my God, are you homeless?" I'm like, "You got any spare change?" And the guy's like, "No." I was like, "I just need $5 to get to San Antonio. You got any money?" He's like, "No." I was like, "You got a cigarette?" He said no, so I just went back in the bushes. But it was fun. I like that character.
Except they went to a haunted house and thought they were accosted by a homeless man instead of a character. So,
I just played into it.
aside from that, yes, loads of fun.
Heinrich doesn't look homeless.
He looks medieval homeless. He
medieval homeless.
he absolutely looks homeless. Alexa, stop!
I'm ready to work.
Here's your new job.
Yes.
This mask here. On the interior, tape over the mouth. Tape over the eyes. I've started this
Do
process.
you want me to? Oh, wait, no.
Firm it up enough so that you can foam fill it.
With non-rigid foam.
Doesn't matter, it's out of a mold.
It is that
But I would
way.
rather not use that foam because the way it crumpled.
Yeah. I need to reach that.
I'm getting it for you.
Oh.
Not the liquid rubber.
This stuff.
Well, read it. Always read what it is.
I'm getting
Here,
it.
hang that. Hang that. Oh, okay.
Not for Alan.
Flexible casting foam. Flexible.
And my favorite word in that whole sentence,
Flexible.
shake the heck out of it. Both sides. And don't forget to tape up all the holes in that mask. Or else it'll be like you made a fountain.
Yeah.
So this is getting a bit more rigidity. You know, it's harder for me to move it around.
Where's the
Where you want me? I need to sit next week.
I'm gonna set you up in this corner over here. Is that okay?
Of course, it's take.
You have this chair. Put these out of your way. My wife is here to read comments. So now if you comment, I'll answer in a timely fashion.
Okay.
basically what I was doing first. But
Yes.
this is flexible.
It's a different mix there.
Yeah, for YouTube, if it's by weight, I need some layers.
Yeah.
If it's not, then that's fantastic.
I don't think it's 50.
Refining the grouch, probably not.
Yes.
All right. You want to say on
Okay, my wife is now on answering comments.
180.
that? You remember what your last?
So.
Yeah. I had lube your beard, bro.
After lube your beard, bro. Yes.
Outstanding.
Rob covered that one.
Okay.
Beard moving.
Well, hi, Michael Lassiter.
For the record, I use Dragon's Blood beard oil.
Rob is now defending his fashion choices to the YouTube audience.
It's not a fashion choice. You can't smell how fantastic my beard is.
Hey, Scott. If someone did give homeless Rob,
Yeah, you got here a little late.
oh my, okay.
Yeah,
if
that's
someone-
why we needed you, honey.
Okay,
It was getting out of hand quick.
if someone did give homeless Rob $5 at a show, can he keep it as a tip?
Yes.
Nice.
He may not elicit a tip, but he could be given a tip and keep it.
I feel I've been brought into a particularly volatile evening, and I'm not sure why. It's Chelsea's fault. I already messed up.
From here on out, she'll be called Chelsea, the reader of labels.
I wanted to be known as a gremlin.
As a gremlin?
Sharp as a shot. Herbataya, who got the Demogorgon, saying thanks for the card.
Oh, cool.
That was a fun costume.
This is the gentleman who bought it. Nice. And he immediately put it on. See, I was opening
As he
it.
should have.
Yeah, it looks really good.
So this is almost firm now. I mean, well, it's firm. It's not like super firm, but it's pretty firm. The chin that I built down here kind of, and I'm putting on, I can't even really shape it yet because it's not hard enough. But as long as you're okay with some texture, I really like
It's so cool.
the way this phone works. But I rebuilt, you know, a good chunk of that face. I'm still rebuilding this area, and I'm going to fill it with pumpkin teeth because of who I am as a person.
How'd you do? Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
Any more comments, wife?
Just from Kurt Mattia saying thank you for the card.
Okay. And since I'm waiting, I'm going to move you guys over here to Chelsea,
Is there a reason that there's this?
just to reinforce it a little bit so
To
it's
keep
not
the shape.
super floppy.
Do you,
Yeah.
do you want to do it on the top-ish side too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got in about
That's neat.
an hour and a half of work in the shop this morning, and that's as far as I got.
That fur is yum. All the belts.
Mhm.
How much is this stuff, man? seconds. Does not say how much it expands.
Did you read the label before you started this task, Chelsea?
I'm so proud.
She's
Does it
getting
look like-
two birds.
I'm not even the one mixing it and I'm reading it.
James Turner loves the Sculpt. Dead End Yard Hunt. Hey,
Why
why
doesn't
it's
say how
fine.
much it expands. That's
No,
what I was
it
like,
doesn't.
no.
Well, we'll just do this a little bit at a time.
Make sure you shake it up.
Shake it up.
This
Shake
is
it
looking out for you, Chelsea. I don't know what happened here.
A mistake, that's what happens.
Unforgiving. Season of each.
Did you tell them about your compass walk, Robert?
I did.
Did you just call him Robert?
And she does.
It's a,
That's
I
cute.
don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. You know why? I'll tell you why. Disney's Robin Hood.
Mm-hmm.
There's one scene where Little John's trying to get Robin's attention. He goes, Robin, Robert,
Robert.
and it's his. So that's
Nice.
what Rob's name is.
That's your name, Rob.
It's French.
And I'm not. However, I call you Robert. It's okay. I call a guy at work Robert too.
Nothing Robert.
Robert.
Stan. Yeah. Come look at this.
Chelsea, what are you working on?
I am working on taping this up. All the eye holes, the mouth holes, the ear holes. So whenever we fill it with expanding foam, it won't
Is that nice?
go everywhere.
This is a Monster
Yep.
Museum stuff.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
fun. Okay. Have fun.
Yeah, all these be mounted on plaques, much like the Fishman and the Cyclops.
The Hexenbrut?
Okay.
I was thinking about making more cramps, but
You
it's
should absolutely make your Krampus female.
no. It's easier to build muscles than to give me a
You looked
feminine
through that
figure.
catalog, right?
Yes.
Actually, why don't you do a tri-part?
Tony Bag says, damn, I miss May. Might be time to order a kit and get back into it.
Get on it.
I want to
Good
make
stuff.
masks. I ain't got the space for that. So I'm making little things, like little sculptures. Did you see the little werewolf I was working on?
I did.
Yeah. I want to finish sculpting that and make a little mold and do little paint your own figures or have some pre-painted. I was thinking about cold casting some in bronze, the bronze powder.
Cool.
I have a big goblin ear at home I need to bring up here and mold.
The goblin ear, singular goblin ear.
No, it's so we can sell them at the Monster Museum.
Nice.
Did you sculpt the goblin ear?
I have one.
Wait, no, you keep saying you have one. Did you sculpt it?
Yes.
Because molding someone else's work is called recasting, and that's theft.
No, I sculpted it. I have a goblin here. Just gotta mold it and then crank out some elf ears and see about finding a way to support
So
that.
I'm
while
gonna
we
snag
fill
you
it.
for Monster Camp Fire. which
I mean, I
take
was
you
just gonna
away
hold it
from-
while you filled it.
It's gonna take you away from fair one weekend.
Well, I'll have to tell Phil that.
Turns, I was just gonna hold it.
Turns out I know the boss.
Feels that?
Yeah, he's doing a museum.
That's great. That's great though, he has fun.
I don't think that's gonna work.
It's not.
So let's see if we can find a different option.
Unless we can get some like pieces of upholstery foam just to tuck right here.
I'd rather it be other.
How long is the pot life of the phone?
None of it's mixed together yet.
I know, but how long is the pot life?
It doesn't really say on here.
Yeah,
Most
it
of the
does.
instructions says it says to mold after 10 minutes.
Okay.
It also says we need a high-speed mixer.
Nah, you are the high-speed mixer.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
that's how that works.
So
That's how I
maybe
was
a,
told to treat this stuff. Like, hate that. I just mix it really fast.
mix it really fast. So it's also cold out now, so you're gonna get a little bit extra time.
Mhm.
It's the heat of the chemicals that makes it do better.
Let's see what this does for us.
It's a little bit.
Is it?
It is.
Well, you can honestly hold it in your hands
Oh,
once it's
so
going.
that's what I was
You want me to
thinking.
hold it while you pour?
You were gonna pour it and then I hold it. Or it doesn't matter.
Whoever mixes, pours.
Right. All right. Well, let me get a stick.
Or do you want me to do it? Since I've worked with this stuff before, kind of.
And once it's in there, and once it kind of starts going, and you can tell it's stuck to the sides and stuff, then you can flip it over and put it down on plastic like this guy,
Okay.
and keep pushing the features so they don't swell out.
Okay.
Because it is flexible.
Since, yeah.
And this guy is now hard.
So
And we
use this
can use this plastic.
one. Well,
Yeah,
we
just
can,
use this
we can
one.
use this one.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to mix it?
It's all good.
Gotta make sure it's really good. Because it'll be sticky in some parts.
Yeah, I don't know if that's enough.
It probably won't be, but we could do multiple batches.
No, I meant like all three in there might be too much. We'll see.
It'll be fine.
Is that A into B or is that two B's?
That's 2 B's.
Two B's.
Okay. Two B's or not two B's?
Get out of here.
That's the question. Well, it's, you know, I was thinking the other day, I've never seen a Shakespearean haunted house.
That's
cool.
because he's not scary.
Well,
And he
go-
frustrates our main audience.
there's ghosts in. No, he frustrated one person that you know. A lot of people actually like.
That is cool.
That's what I was talking about.
That's pretty. There's one in there that's just like, just an outfit, not an actual Krampus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Alan's comment to that was she's failing. Okay. Here we go.
Whip it like a cake.
Turns out I know how to cook. Okay.
Michael Lassiter says that Ed would be proud of that pun, Alan.
Does it tell you how long it takes? I'm gonna assume a minute like the other one and nothing more. You can usually tell whenever it starts warming up.
I mix for only like 30 seconds, but I go hardcore.
Like, yeah,
I'm beating it like it owes me money.
not being
Well,
long.
scrape the sides like it.
Scrape the sides, do
Yeah.
all that. Whenever I was working at that other company, they taught us to double mix, so pour it into a new.
Love the idea of foam filling a mask, especially if it's old and tired.
Like,
And again, don't breathe right over that.
mm-hmm.
It would be awesome if
I'm
we
just
turn on
gonna-
air scrubbers for all the poisonous chemicals.
I think that just handles dirt, and we just recycle the poisonous chemicals back into the room.
Well, that's gonna catch something. These are like 3-micron filters. So these
Yeah,
are
but it's
like
not,
Uber filters.
but it's not vapor filters.
Okay, it's starting to warm up.
That's true.
So,
Still, we'll catch something.
Well, maybe it helps for you.
Once it starts expanding, actually,
Remember, don't
There we
breathe
go.
right over the opening.
it's kind of stuff.
I wasn't.
I'd probably say your head is hanging over too close. I mean, like, get away from it, Ralph.
Run. Yeah, it's
I'll
expanding.
feel it.
I'm just gonna kind of hold it like this.
So. Should be starting. Oh. That is all contaminated now.
Yep.
So, I will set up the next batch.
Is foam filling pretty pricey?
It does not have to be pricey. It depends on the foam that you choose. You can get a real nice foam from Bitty Mold Supply.
Is that Bitty brand the one that we used?
The one you guys are using right now is,
Nice.
the first one was a Reynolds Advanced Materials Smooth On brand.
And that stuff is expensive.
It's a little pricier.
Actually, do a little bit of a smaller batch than what you did before. Because this is expanding pretty well. If you heard me. This stuff is getting warm in the boots as it's expanding.
I wish I were smarter.
The way you said that.
I like the fact there's zero hesitation over it.
I really should have took a before picture on
You
this.
should have. Nice. Look at those
Turned out really
tips.
well.
I love all the texture. What was this originally?
I don't know.
It was cool.
What was it?
You got so much such good.
It was on the,
It's like a reptile-esque.
it was in the bin is what it was.
Layers of makeup, layers upon layers of
Um,
very rich.
We're not gonna need that much. For a second batch.
We might not need any at all.
You could finish it with the other stuff if you want.
Cool.
Sure.
I'm gonna pour this back into there.
Yeah.
Waste not, want not.
It's all right.
Wow, night and day after that touch-up, Alan.
Thanks.
It's rolling a little bit, but not too
Yeah.
It's
much.
like a killer croc.
It does.
My Krampus costume is completely
But it's no
changed.
longer liquid. It's all foamy and squishy.
It was all fur based. Oh, the boots? Very back page. There's something I want in the work. It's probably the only
Which
thing.
one
I
was
can-
it?
The bells.
Nice.
The Krampus bells.
I want to get some pretty nice bells from that place. I just don't know if I would make a good vehicle.
Absolutely make a female Krampus.
I already sent you the sketches for one.
And if you guys remember the little blobs of foam that I put down at the table, I'm just making some quick ears
Nice.
for him.
So once it's completely rigid, can you like sand it down and add more
Yep.
texture? Sweet. This stuff's getting warm.
Beautiful stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to use this to finish it.
And then spray down with water, slap it on here. There was one that was okay.
That one.
Good luck.
Honey, great dinner.
It was great.
Delicious.
Thanks.
Salad.
It's hard sometimes to gauge what to feed you guys.
I know my friend is doing a few.
The weather decides, and then,
Well, you know we'll like anything you make.
yeah, well, these aren't great.
The bells?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
No, there's the boots. The boots. Yes, oh, yeah.
My God, I want those in the worst way.
What kind of bells are they, Rob?
They're Krampus bells, but here, let me see.
That's hot.
Aren't those amazing? I feel like I should show the camera.
Yeah.
So I have a catalog from Austria, and we're all oohing and ahhing over these Krampus bells. Are those fantastic? Man. But yeah, this is a catalog, Krampus shop catalog from Austria, www.krampusshop.at. It'll take you about anywhere from 4 to 6 months to get your catalog, but it's worth it.
Really?
Yeah.
When did you order it?
August.
It hasn't been 6 months, or yeah. No.
4.
Steve Scott likes them, so those are nice.
I got it December 1st. It's too late to order anything, guys. All right.
Those, those bells are dope AF.
Turned out pretty good.
Not gonna turn.
So you have to put the two on this.
No.
It's definitely available. They have a, on the way.
Pull out.
On the bottom, they have a rubies.
So you usually use Greek stuff.
Like
How's
second
stuff works?
thing like this.
Is that
they
all
have
of it?
all the overflow stuff that they sell.
This is the one I just
And you can go in there and you can get all sorts of stuff for almost nothing. It's only open like 2 days a week though.
Working a little.
It's, I mean, it's open every day, like their shipping is, but their store that's open to the public, you just come through and root
I think
through it
that's a
once
lot
on
of
like 2
using
days
most
a
of
week
them
or
don't
certain times of the day.
Fill her up.
Look what you did.
I didn't do it.
Then I had one of those $1,000 phones,
Everyone's just
phone
blaming me because
Batman
I'm
suits,
small.
one of those head to toe ones.
Yeah.
Had a gash through the phone, they're selling it for $250.
See how you're watching it here.
You did not get it because?
Oh.
You got
Oh.
a
I know
shaggy
it
and
is.
school of the shop.
Like, I'm gonna have to go buy all
I want to be a shop gremlin
We'll fit this whole
the
suit
shop
in,
monkey.
and the suit
A
is
shop
all
what?
set.
Gremlin.
Gremlin.
Shop monkey's actually an official term.
Now looking
I
back,
know
I
it
wanted
is.
to still have that muscle suit. This was one. But, well, you can see it. It was made out of,
That was just
you know, it was made out of literally a painted foam.
Right.
So just from the people who had tried it on, or moving it around, chipping it, you can see where the paint had started to like really wrinkle up on the joints.
That was
Like
up?
the bottom of the forearm, yeah,
Just up.
and the elbows, the paint could almost, like you could see just wrinkles, mass on top of wrinkles. Like for that kind of money,
Oh. I think
I mean,
that's okay.
I think it's great. Paint for one one. But when you start wearing it around, it's so rare.
Yeah, I want to be the shop gremlin. God. Careful. What'd you do?
What'd you do?
I blamed you. Blamed you first.
I'm not monitoring the situation over there. Should I be?
No, you're
It's
good.
fine.
Okay.
We're totally lying here. So.
Cracking Shannon up. Which is rich.
Ruh-roh.
Dog dog.
What?
You rich as well?
I have to, man. I don't worry.
Yeah, we don't have any more of the pretty stuff, the jet puff marshmallow. Jeez.
Shannon, the sandwiches were delicious.
Babe, you're very welcome.
You're very welcome. Oftentimes, you guys are eating what Alan wants to eat for dinner.
Can't argue with it.
Or it's what I can put together because you don't live anywhere near any grocery store. Improv.
I could see fumes coming out of that.
Oh.
There's just fumes emanating from this beer. So earlier I asked him, hey, Alan, do you have any respirators? Like, what do you need a respirator for?
Keeps telling the same story.
Well, you can't prove it unless you go back and watch the video again. But I suppose you could prove it.
Yeah.
So our friends, Dana, I don't know, is Ezekiel on tonight?
I don't know.
Haven't heard.
Ezekiel, I don't know if you're there. Usually he is. But our friends Dana and Scott are flying in from Australia tonight, and they have 5 pounds of Tim Tams in their carry-on.
5 pounds.
5 pounds of Tim Tams on their carry-on.
That's outstanding. Hmm? Flappers.
There's
For
one-
those following along at home, I just put another. Oh, you use great stuff.
We're out of everything else.
Okay.
The Loctite is just Loctite.
It's all locked up.
Okay. Flip it on face down.
Beautiful.
Oh, there wasn't a lot of puffiness either. It didn't distort.
I did a good job.
Good job. One in a row.
Hey, Chelsea, move the phone so you can see the,
Okay.
What do you want to see?
so they can see what you.
The
The
mask.
mask. Right now they want to see it.
So it holds its pretty
So
shape.
this mask was from Monster Camp number.
2. This was from Monster Camp. 2 from mine.
Yes.
Chelsea's,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wanda's.
Yeah, that was Wanda's mask. Wanda sculpted that.
Let's call it
And I thought it would make a nice Tengu or Leshy because it
Yes.
has that nice beak on it.
It will make a great Tengu.
Yeah, so that'll probably be a Tengu for the Monster Museum.
Does that mean we can feather it?
Yeah.
Nice.
I have a question. Perhaps a dumb question, but I'm curious if a cheap styrofoam armature head would work to sculpt on with oil-based clay, or if I'd risk drying the clay out. Thanks, dude. Glad I stumbled upon this channel.
It won't dry the
Okay, it's not a matter of it drying the clay out. It is a matter of that armature is really not the right size and it's unrealistic. Invest in a decent armature. There are some things where you just need the right tool, and having a good armature underneath really helps you out. You don't need any armature. You can go from a lump of clay. Hey, Rob,
Yes.
Oil-based clay won't dry out.
get a Dremel going here, sir.
Yeah.
And
Start cleaning them up.
the seam,
Get the fleshing off.
yeah, there's some flashing on it.
Gotcha.
What would you like me to do?
Oh, look, everything's empty now.
As soon as this hot glue gun is hot, glue these ears on right here.
You're gonna paint that, right?
Of course.
So why don't we do this?
See the ears where they go? Okay. Oh, there's tabs.
There are tabs.
Yeah, so you'll know.
Oh, ear tabs.
Got
And when I made these, I made a flat side, so that just goes
Nice.
right there. I'm gonna take a little bit more, either foam or something,
To kind of
to bridge that and make it look more natural. But I'm very happy with how that turned out.
do that fast.
Okay.
So are you and I both working on this?
Tengu or Tengu's Rock. That's something that I did.
Yes, they do.
And a Yo-Yo Merry Scary Christmas from Josh Sculptor, SPFX.
Yo, Christmas to you as well.
Merry Scary.
Merry Christmas. Scary Merry Christmas.
Not Merry. Stop. You said Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you!
Yeah, just let it go.
I think that's the best use.
How long does this take for this stuff to be completely rigid?
Hour or two.
You want me helping with this or what does it want?
Is it not dribbling, Rob?
No, it's too dense unless I try a different head. I was just gonna try and cut it off this way. Because that's not latex. Was I just not going at it hard enough? Yeah, alright. Now I try to err on the side of that.
Hey Alan, I'm a new mask maker and I did my first two-piece mold and I got it rocked and ruined most of it. I watched your video about two-piece molds and now I know more, so thank you.
I hate to say this, but watch those videos before, and it just makes life easier. That's our goal, is to make life easier.
Like read labels.
Did you, yeah, like read labels before you mix the foam to make sure it lines up with your project.
Yeah, that's what I really said.
It doesn't have to be amazing. And make sure you're not crushing the new face sculpt. Compressor hose, the black sprayer here, and go ahead and spray this and make her black so we can start. You know what? First, do this. Clean up all this edge so that it will look good on the plastic.
How would you like to?
Carefully.
No, well,
That's fine.
yeah. Are you making armatures?
You want to slice that off, or do you want to do that? So I'm going to clean up a little bit.
Level. It's sitting level. I'm making half mask armatures. I don't make full head armatures. I don't do enough full head, so I buy those from Bitty Mold Supply or Monster Makers.
Did you hear that transfer dance through the sort of reload?
I did. I got the inside scoop on it. And the wire for the wool. Inside the wool, well, full wool, I'll call it a month.
Figure out, that's a word.
Oh, that's what it was. You can make it. Rob, how is dremeling that foam different from dremeling latex seams?
Well, it eats through the felt tips like nobody's business.
Maybe you should switch to a standing drum head?
I think that would be a lot faster. Because I've gone through two. But We're going with what we knew. Come here. You look quite fast.
I'm planning on making a really fun by next year.
So just add a werewolf costume into your rotation.
I don't know what's happening. I usually work on whenever I saw it.
Don't think of it as a personal costume. Think of it as advertising cost. Like costume. I could probably hook you up with a werewolf costume. We'll use parts and make your life easier. Why don't you talk the fine folks through what you're doing?
I am currently carving off the edges of this foam so it looks nice and so they won't go good on a pot. Also make
Then
it-
I want you to find some scrap EDA
Mhm.
and make mandibles that'll fit in here, like spider mandibles, you know what I'm talking about? And in these 4 sockets, and maybe some nice antenna.
How's this look? Does it look pretty good for this?
Good enough.
Sweet. And lucky for us, we just got some stuff into the video.
Did. Oh, here's that respirator.
It's a little late. That bug face is so cool. Isn't it? That's what they like to look at. I still want to pull more from my one for Monster because I haven't done any more since Oh, I want to migrate this to where it's safer, but I'm going to assume it's by me. Most things you can say by me.
we've got foam it with the ricky foam. And then all three of the guys just wrestling to get it out of the mold. You're awesome.
Whoa.
Make sure you talk them through your process.
Yes. So Alan has requested me to make mandibles, so I'm currently making a pattern that will stick into these. Chelsea, I know you're speaking good and loud.
Just have to,
Oh.
just have to realize the way I broke it down. And then, like, these I'll adjust, because this is what I
So I'll leave it right there.
Here's our registration works too.
This particular
Rob, how close are you on that flash?
just about that.
Yeah. So, it'll be sprayed.
Flexi Dip.
There you go, here you go.
Neat.
And there's some things here. These are the ones that-
Grab a heat gun and dry that sucker.
This sucker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Software, I don't think there's
You're getting that labeling on it.
That's
It's
pretty much.
very exciting.
I know, I feel,
Organization. It's
Oh.
exciting.
I told Alan, I feel like we ought to frame this and put it up on the wall.
It is very, very exciting.
The time it works.
We ain't got time for that, Stan. Put that together.
Start taping. We're going. Only 45 more pieces cut.
I'm gonna turn this off temporarily.
All those blue ones are really awesome.
We missed some.
I don't know. I don't know what type of paint you're using.
This is truck bed line with Flexi.
Look at that, Rob.
That's great. Now it looks like a gremlin.
Yeah.
Now it looks like Big Daddy Gremlin.
So right now, your guys' options are watching Stan do computer work. Spray paint something black. Watching paint dry with Rob. Or mandible cutting with Chelsea. I think she's doing the more interesting thing right now, so that's what you're on.
Agreed.
I don't know the one you're using.
Part of being at the shop. Being a fun. I mean, being on camera.
No, that's okay.
forward.
I know, I'm not doing this one, this, so I have two on one side, so I'm not, I have an extra system in that idea. There we go.
Looks like you're part.
Does it work?
Yeah, it's usually in my.
Awesome, right?
Okay.
Still gotta go dump. It's kind of.
This is now black. Exciting. This is now black. You remember this guy had no ears and he had no this part of his face. So we built this and we made him some ears.
Fantastic.
Good night, Michael J. Lasseter. Yeah, the bug face is going to be neat, I think.
I'll try. Hey, at least she's here.
No, I've answered them.
I'm saying you know what it's called. Just know it's in it now. I just haven't. I've never thought about sharpening my X-Acto blades. Good idea.
That's what Rob just showed me whenever we got here. I'm like, no, I didn't know you could either.
It's pretty huge, and it makes a huge difference in what you do, or how much you spend to do what you do, actually. Because I was going through those X-Acto blades like crazy, and they're cheap. But you know,
But cheap adds up if it's a lot.
yeah, $10 every time I go to Harbor Freight is still $10. And I go to Harbor Freight a lot.
Can you get these sharpeners at Harbor Freight? Because I'm thinking about getting some of these for me.
No, Amazon
Amazon, okay. I like it.
is a Kershaw knife sharpener.
What are you looking at?
Let Chelsea continue to work with her little beaker.
It's a respirator.
I'm still sick. Oh my
That's funny.
God. I'm raw.
I just think you forget you have it on and you're just going about your little business there.
I actually was just like,
I forgot what you had.
and then when I restarted laughing again, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, get that on.
Okay. So this is drying.
Where's my bug?
That's drying.
Where's my bug?
Rob is dumping. Yep. I took your bug. I'm test fitting your bug.
I need to test it with this. No, sure this a lot more. It's going to go in there. It's going to go like.
I knew you were the right person for the manual cup.
I've drawn many.
let's put another layer of pledge on the Grouch Sculpt, which is over here.
It's really cool sculpt.
Thanks.
I love all those wrinkles.
Okay. That's done. See, I don't go live a lot on nights when I'm this unfocused because I have so many different little things going on. It's kind of hard to follow on camera. So, Rob is pouring out a mask in the other room.
What does the pledge do?
The pledge is actually a barrier in between the clay and the plaster when I make the mold. So when I demold it, the clay comes out a lot easier with a pledge.
Oh, I didn't realize it acted as a mold release.
It's a mold release basically from the clay to the plaster. But it's wax based because wax won't clog up all the pores of the plaster like an oil based would. If I'm lucky. It's also very cold here in Texas,
For
so
once.
things aren't drying like fast. I'm gonna get some paint and start painting this tin booth.
Is it dry?
Oh, I'll start on the parts that are.
Does pledge work better than crystal clear acrylic?
Yes, it does. Because the formula for crystal clear recently changed. And when that formula changed, it doesn't do the job as good anymore. And now it sticks to your mold more than it used to.
Oh, that's worse.
Even if you give it plenty of time to dry. So I only went to pledge after crystal clear failed me a couple times. And Ed swears by his spray paint. Some people use that. I've used that, but it's stuck to my mold.
And
So
pledge smells good.
pledge also does smell too.
I'm not going to worry about this side too much. I'm just going to make sure that it faces in, so it's not.
That's fine.
I'm just going to do some probably Dremel texturing on it. And, yeah.
Do the best job you can possibly do in 20 minutes.
It's getting there. I think it's getting there.
It's so awkward.
You're awkward.
I can't balance them on a bucket. I have to hold it.
This is just my latex mask paint, which I actually went yesterday and got my new colors for 2020.
Yeah.
They're up over the door. I haven't mixed them yet because they're all right here. All these quarts of paint, that's my 13 different colors that I'll use in 2020.
Oh, nice. You went ahead and went right into it.
Well, yeah.
Why do you choose the colors you choose?
Good color.
And that's just me asking.
I'm really
That's
gonna
not
like
a
that.
question.
Okay, so Why do I choose the colors I
Well,
choose?
what- What
What's stronger?
makes you choose the combination of colors?
You have to, I know I'm doing a lot of black and white stuff. So this year is the first year that I did a black, a white, a dark gray, and a light gray. Normally I do a light gray, but this time I went with, several colors.
You went with some very bold colors.
Yeah, I went with bolder colors because, again, everything we do is for a dark environment. And in all honesty, that big shot of color, I'm counting on it, also drawing people down the Transworld aisle. If it's going to catch your eye, then it might bring some folks to the booth.
I use oil clays. Will it dissolve my clay over time?
No, it won't. It just adds a little wax to it. I think he's referring to the pledge. No, not at all.
He's gonna have predator mandibles.
Okay.
Any question about oil-based clay, Alan?
Yes, sir?
After you sprayed it with the pledge, you want to chunk it, right? You don't want to reuse it again.
It's fine to reuse.
Is it?
Yeah. Just has a little more wax in it than before. And Monster Clay is a wax-based clay.
I love monster clay.
But, doing a little something to soften it wouldn't suck either. If you have the original or firm, A touch softer with that wax in there, though. Normally, when I'm picking colors, I also go with, I want to be able to mix anything I want. Although the reason why I choose colors each year is so that year has a consistent look and theme. And I do a lot of not mixing of colors in order to make it repeatable. If I custom mix every color on a mask, and someone says, I like that mask, I'd like to order one, what are the odds of me being able to replicate that? Not as good. So I try to use the color straight, except for adding white to dry brush layers. But if all I'm adding is white to it, then I can handle getting that right. Feathers.
Feathers.
I used to have a bunch of feathers in here, and I think I took them all to dark out. So next time I'm in the lobby, I'll have to get myself some more feathers for this Tengu. Then I will apply the feathers just like shingling a house. I'm going to give you guys a moment of watching Chelsea, because what she's doing is kind of cool. She's putting mandibles in.
Yeah, it's been so long.
And she's wearing a Santa beard.
They said this is my respirator.
That's right, that's her respirator now.
Probably gonna drumming, some texture in these, smoothing out the ridge. And then putting them in, and we're good to go.
Okay. Mark what you got to do. And for glue, I'm going to have you use silicone caulk.
Okay.
You need to shave. It's just.
But I love my beard.
That's your Rob costume.
That's my rock costume.
It's a shiny, silky beard.
Hey, little. What you doing?
Some garment bits.
Temperature significantly dropped.
Huh?
A lot.
You know why it dropped?
Cold?
Because God hates smokers.
You can't have
I can help it.
You can, but it's easy. This little guy.
My smoking has gone down significantly, actually. Again.
Good.
I want to keep it. Save me so much money.
Would it help if I smacked one out of your hand every time I saw you smoking?
No?
Okay.
That just pissed me off. I mean,
Then you want a cigarette.
to be fair. What are you trying to do?
Come on, get out of here.
What are you trying to do? Okay, there's a much easier way to do that.
John Sculpting at SPFX.
Oh, good night. I'm painting again, and they're still changing Dremel bits.
Why are you using this one?
It's the one I use at home, and you want to show me how to use a different one?
Are you trying to put it in this one?
Just to. Okay.
I'm making sure that you're using the right bit.
Grab that one. That's a good color. I like that.
Rob, do you know where the plastic tray is with all the eyes in it?
Yes. Should.
Sure.
I looked for that sucker like crazy the other day. How many people are watching, honey? 12?
25.
25?
Wow.
Now, Chelsea is dremeling foam, and I think that'll be more interesting.
Smoking is a selfish habit and it takes a selfish reason to be able to quit.
Yeah, Rob. Yeah. Flat little electrical box.
I just thought I should probably take this off.
Yeah.
I'm driving.
If that gets caught in the Dremel, that would really suck.
That would really suck.
I mean, we'd laugh.
I'm pretty sure your bird's been caught in a Dremel.
Mine?
Yeah.
No.
I'm proud of you.
There's been plenty of other stuff caught in my beard today, I'll tell you that.
No details, Rob.
I was just.
At least once a month I get work with plastic. Oh.
If I can find something in the shop, Rob says it's because he put it away.
Usually.
If I can't find something in the shop, Rob says it's because I put it away.
That's fair.
Too big this time.
That's what I was in that box.
Oh, that was all foam finger stuff.
Good, dude.
I couldn't find it in here. I looked.
Look at all the drawers in there.
I look at every drawer.
For being honest, you need over here.
Yeah, I'll read it.
Yeah, it's not only engraved, it's just one. Right.
So, but some of them like I think we were just and the other thing is store already has presets for it, based on the material you solve it, you don't have to touch that. If you're ready, you're kind of on your own.
Yeah. On that shelf in there. Hey, Rob,
Yes, sir.
how'd these look?
Continue?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the big stuff, is done. And most of these are single pieces on one.
Yeah.
Oh, there's all kinds of people.
I put the big heater on because Shannon was over.
Yeah, temperature dropped quite a bit outside.
Put this back, you found it?
We're in the chili.
It's wood. It's a
So, for my Secret Santa, I put coffee nails, little with all eyes, and a handle in there with everything else. Just little fillers that they were fun. Oh, and
So this is before and after of each mandible. I'm just smoothing up the edges so it looks a little bit more natural.
Thank you.
Very easy.
You want to?
What do we sell those?
I wouldn't sell them.
Oh, just for funsies?
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to.
This is the weirdest chair I've ever seen.
That's the accordion.
I appreciate that.
Have you not heard us call it that?
No, Rob.
I'm making out the shot.
Oh, you can, but let us know so we can leave. Let's take this.
You taking my beard?
Yeah.
Don't take my
What's that?
beard.
Did you buy a Santa suit?
Yes.
It's my
I didn't buy it
respirator.
today. I bought it a few months
No.
ago
Rob's taking my
for
respirator.
$16 from China. It's definitely a $16 Santa suit. I had hopes for better.
It's cute. Oh, so you gotta get credit. 16. That's where that beard came from.
You win some and you lose some.
What did you do to my beard?
What?
She's gotten very attached to this beard.
Take my respirator.
Not a respirator.
That's my respirator.
Everything's a respirator if you're brave enough,
Emotional
Rob.
support
What did you do?
respirator.
It's my emotional support respirator.
What did you do to it?
Just cut a little piece off.
Oh. Is that anything worried now? No, just still. I don't trust myself enough. I am on. Well, I'm legal now. Where's my scissors? You took them.
A whole drawer full of scissors.
It's okay. I just needed to have. Didn't I put these in?
That gets me a little bit more depth because I got two colors on there now.
Looks great. So are you using like a deeper red or a brighter red?
Brighter. I normally add white. Do my base layer is the darkest,
Mm-hmm.
and I go from dark to light. Can I see your paint stir stick? Those are some really deep set eyes.
That looks cool.
Like he's following you around the room.
Looks great.
I think next up is I take it over the airbrush and do some more. I need some defining.
It's not gonna, it doesn't have its feathers on, so.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to have feathers. Something has to happen here with the mouth. I don't think it's going to get teeth though. You know what? Let me check.
So you said to adhere these in with silicone?
Yeah. Use tins and some silicone caulk back there behind it. What are you looking for?
What you just told me.
Okay, so T-pins will be over there. Silicone caulk is going to be on the door to the other room.
Okay.
I think these teeth in there would actually be kind of nice. Just as a different element, different feel. Oh, hand me your Dremel, please. When I have to even something off with the Dremel, I normally go straight down into it to my max depth, so that way I have a gauge of how much I should take off. If I don't do that, then I might take off too much in one area or not enough in another.
Do you like them more with the bottom ones pointing down, or do you want them pointing up?
Up, dangerous.
That's the most pleasant.
Was that sarcasm?
Very first thing I ever learned how to
Was what?
burlap masks. Learned it
Vicariously through me.
vicariously through you. Oh, nice. That's really ugly teeth for that thing. So when we're doing the feathers, we're just gonna
Like shingles.
Okay.
Start from the back
Right.
and build your way up. That way each one lays over the other.
Do you want to do black feathers on it?
I'm gonna go red.
Yeah.
Do a nice red tengu.
That'll be fun.
I hate this. The teeth make it look very Asian. I don't mind that.
No, it's an Asian demon. Yeah, he looks good. Nice deep set of eyes.
It looks like he's judging you.
Well, you did make it.
I don't judge everybody, Rob. Mostly you.
Oh, Sleepy?
What about me?
You also get judged. You're getting judged, and you're getting judged. Look under your seat, Rob. You're about to get judged. All right, so let's go with the family down the street. Over her. Didn't have a face earlier. The foam absorbs the paint at a different rate. With 2 coats on the foam. I love that the only way I know what's foam and what isn't is from the way the paint absorbed it. That's nice. So yeah, now I'm gonna get this guy out of the way. But from, his face was half ripped off. He was in the bargain bin. That's kind of a cool looking little monster. You know? I think I'll make him a gargoyle. Paint him stone. Midwest Haunters Convention. This was in the Ghost Ride bargain bin. Because he was his half his face was missing.
That's why I was watching. I was trying to remember where I saw Blade Runner.
Very important.
Good call. And you take a finger cut, and some yarn, and makes
All my belly hair is growing back, and it's an issue.
I was like, no.
Oh, I have every idea. He told all of us at work.
About his belly.
More than that. The man made stew.
Rob, just give me a screw gun, please.
Yeah.
And a long screw.
Well, here's your screw gun. How long of a screw?
3-inch.
Insectoids. I know you
Now, I know that, like, when you're really into lizards and dragons, it's called scalies. And there's stonies, which are into gargoyles. If you're into bugs, what is that?
Somebody said crawlies, and I kind of liked it.
Crawlies. Yeah, I can see crawlies.
Theologist, that's fish.
That's fish, Rob.
Anthropods.
What? Insectophiles. There's a term for it.
Entomology.
That's it. The brain was only going so hard.
This is the other she wants to make different copper metallic hues. Iridescent and metallic.
What's that one?
Just you have to fight yourself.
You're gonna paint it.
I don't know. You told me to put the mandibles on. The mandibles are on there. No, that's just her. That's just her.
Richard.
That's just like
The metallics and the coppers.
Well, now that I realized how much I use it in my work, I'm like, might as well make my whole business scheme like that. So, like, did you send any to whatever?
No, I'll have to look.
You on Instagram?
It just won. What'd you do?
I don't have.
Shaking up some ink. I'm going to use some of this ink on here. I'm getting happy with it. We will see.
Oh, that looks great. What'd you do that? I asked you about that.
I just remember that.
Yes, you did. Yes, I did see it.
Yeah, I got really good thing quality. So I just wanted to be so I just.
Okay, now
That's great.
And then my price signs.
2 empty single action bottles, please, Rob.
Love that.
The desk that Shannon's at, all the way to the left in that top drawer.
Right.
Yeah, I was just asking about this. I need to see.
How did I just never realize that? I'm surprised.
Here, 2 single action.
All the things that I'm going to print.
Like,
Oh, I must have.
Yep, you got
That's it.
And Rob, I've got a bottle like this of like a real turquoise color.
it. Yeah, I saw that release.
You only have it all. It's good information.
I believe this is the color you're speaking of.
so you do all of one
Yeah.
business.
I really got sex.
But then necessary.
Very highly necessary.
Necessary what?
Necessary work. It's not sexy. You got to do it sexy.
All this suckers over here, and I have no idea how long this is supposed to be.
Very 15. About a full 24.
This is sexy. Ensuring that it's not sexy. I think it's sexy.
Wait, which
We'll do a little bit of painterating.
We have gone very quiet. Anybody got any questions?
Any questions?
We have
Yeah, so there's 22 people on.
very.
It's like a
I'm finally doing something interesting tonight. I'm painting something.
What?
Hey, Chelsea,
Yes.
you can get that based out in black.
All right. Do you have a preference to what kind of paint?
Go with the Flex Seal.
I see on TV. Let's see.
You might notice I religiously screw the lid back on. Yes, ma'am?
Do you have any sort of plastic or parts or paper that I can lay out? Do you want to use the butcher paper to spray?
Put it on the table.
Right on the table?
Yeah, move this other stuff out of the way. And then paint her up. I wanted to define the beak. Because a beak to me is always going to be a different material than whatever, the rest of the face is made out of. So I wanted to define that area. Nice hard black line will do it. And I can further define a different little area on the head, right here, right above the beak. Some birds have a buildup there. A crow is a great example of that. They've got this ridge of flesh right over top of their beak. That's kind of nice. And this is black. I'm going to shoot this. But I exposed when I put in those teeth. A little bit of the ear wasn't painted. A little spot under there wasn't painted. That's pretty much it. This can go back into black. You can go back in black. Get the set. Don't you know? I'm glad to hear it. How's it going, Stan?
Hey, the glow.
What do you mean?
So it keeps getting a message that it got bumped, but nobody's there.
Watch how much that table's moving. When it's going, that table is moving. So you might need to brace that table a little bit, screw it to the wall, and then try again. Because when I was watching it go earlier, the whole table shakes a little bit.
Well, it might be worse. It's making, like, there's this pulley system, like the
Yeah.
belts that bring it. They're almost like one of them is not, I don't think one of them is catching.
Well, watch it and see.
It's almost making like, almost like a grinding noise trying to grab, like a spit.
all these delightful smells.
What's the indication?
Poison. Yeah.
Which one was
Right there. There's your pathetic excuse for a restaurant. Man, that thing's gnarly.
Don't forget antenna. EVA foam would be pretty easy, fast, and awesome. Hey, you know what? Go upstairs and take her with you and look through all of the horns. I thought they might have sent me some antenna by accident.
We have someone who just posted and just says help.
What'd they say?
Help.
I need somebody.
Help.
Not just anybody.
Help.
Somebody please help me. Is that the words? Did I do it right?
Yes, you did great. Okay, what was that you just sprayed with the airbrush paint cut?
Aha. Carburetor cleaner. It is meant to get sticky gunk off of fiddly metal bits. And an airbrush is made of fiddly metal bits. And everything you put in it becomes sticky gunk. Therefore, carburetor cleaner is perfect for any airbrush that does not have a lot of O-rings in it. Carburetor cleaner loves to eat up O-rings. If your airbrush has O-rings, then what I recommend you do, go get a Pache H. No, just, you can clean with carburetor cleaner, but then immediately clean with alcohol.
Antennas. So these,
I do have antenna.
do you want me to chalk them up there? Or?
Figure it out. Make it look cool. You know that its back is flat, and that's how it's going to go on a board. Why do you have the tentacle?
I was gonna ask you.
Take them home with you. Make them go away.
What were you gonna ask? You can have them?
I saw them on my
Just
it's in the bucket. And it's my goodness, it's cool. Let me scoop those up. He's like, take both of them. House down. Oh my goodness.
Alan hates those things. He'll probably give them to you.
See, I did not know that you could eat them. But now that I do, he's better off for me.
They sat up there for about 2 years, I'll tell you that.
Really?
Yep. Give them to Chelsea.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, what could we do with it? Make an earth room?
She goes, you send her in for antenna, she comes back with antenna and tentacles. That wasn't on the shopping list. And yet, she did. So, they do not.
Oh, wait, no. Right. Yeah. You're gonna have a rainbow bug.
Oh god, that hurt.
What'd you do, Rob?
Put a bucket on my finger.
It's terrible. Don't do that.
Look, isn't it great?
You have a wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much for the comment, and then I just looked up at the wrong time. Oh, Rob.
Those are crazy.
They're pretty greedy.
We're gonna paint them.
Yeah.
Something light, it'll light up.
Because they'll never light up again. Finally, we'll let you on.
Where is That's crazy.
So these inks are translucent. So everything I highlighted underneath, it stays highlighted. But I'm just adding a richness to it. That's going well, I think.
And
Yes, ma'am?
can you come over here and tell me how you would go about putting these in?
Oh, yeah.
Because space is really
Space is what?
I was thinking about cutting this off.
There's a lot
Cutting a hole in
going
it
on.
and using silicone to put in there, but I'm not sure if you have a better method. It's gonna have the point now.
Out like this.
Yeah. I was gonna do a little upward curve. Yeah.
No.
No? Grasshopper?
Cut this
Mhm.
and then hit it on the belt sander, which is in the other room. So, because you're not gonna want them, no, pretty straight is right. So then I would get popsicle sticks, cut the ends sharp, shove them in,
These are the
slide
shapes.
this over,
Okay.
and then you can, a little bit of foam.
Robbed you?
A little bit of foam in there with it would solidify that greatly.
Jesse, what are you gonna do with this?
That's what I think about getting more credit. I don't know why that's because I like painting. One time he gave me a little, it's a captain from, and it's been on like this. It was from, you know, they keep having have like, gave me, or me, that's what it was, just a little, it's your cousin. It's worse. Keep that.
Oh.
So don't worry about using the silicone caulk, you can just use the foam.
Either one.
Okay.
You know what? Caulking is going to be a little more reliable because it won't squeeze out of there.
Okay.
Like the foam is leaking out of that can. Do the same thing out of that antler.
Any luck? That's a good thing.
Calm that down a little. See how much that table's moving?
Well, one of the things I found on your troubleshooting page is that, and apparently this worked, you sign out of the app, unplug it from the wall, wait about 5 minutes, and then sign back in, and it recentered it. So, let's see.
So have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
It's saying it's about to work, so I'm waiting for it to tell me to go push the white button. I think we might need to stir your table.
Did you see those backgrounds from Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
Those are beautiful.
In a fashion, yeah.
Have a good evening and happy holidays.
Oh,
Big Dog just signed on and says, "Are you late to the party?"
what the heck, big dog? We were counting on you. It's all good, man. I don't expect anybody to watch, and I'm frankly surprised when anyone does.
Repeatedly.
Yes, I'm repeatedly surprised.
No, people watch repeatedly.
What do you think, Rob?
Well, that's an interesting one.
Which one?
But I like it. Those teeth are messed up, yo. That is one ugly Tengu. I think once you get all the feathers on him, it's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, he's still waiting on a ton of feathers.
Yep. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, that helped. Breaking that up a little bit.
Yeah. So when I come back Thursday, I'll pour up. If I do it first thing I walk in the door, I can get 2 piggins in one night. No, I couldn't.
No, you can't. It won't dry in
I
time.
can get one though. I can get another one going. What is that?
Oh, that's that glue that dripped out of the gun.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah, now we know how to make amber.
Probably why you can see it.
All right, so there we go. That makes me happy.
Life finds a way.
Life finds a way.
Life finds a way. What?
Tengu.
Well, we gotta lose.
He doesn't have any feathers on him yet, but I'm happy with the paint job. I'll have to get some feathers.
I'm not taking it.
Bring your own feathers.
Alexa, add to my shopping list.
All the positives.
Is there what kind, what color, or is she just randomly pick feathers?
She just randomly said feathers. I'm gonna know to get red feathers. I used to keep rooster rolls, but I gave them all to Dark Hour.
Well, we made a bunch of those tools.
That's right, yeah, on the swamp witches.
Swamp witches.
Well, everybody, that project is finished up. So tonight, I finished sculpting the Grouch, which is right here. Let me take you off of this stand. You guys look silly.
Am I trying to up the airbrush and all this nonsense?
Sure. So I finished sculpting the Grouch right here. And I'll mold him one day this week. Happy with that. I painted the Tengu over here. Stan did lots of laser cutter work. Did you cut out a single helmet, Stan?
Yeah, I did.
One helmet sheet or one full helmet? Nice. This Tengu got painted tonight. And we foam filled that.
I go up there and ask for something under my nose. You just come right back out with it.
This was a foam filling folly.
wish I heck yeah. Where'd this come from? I'm gonna put these away.
Yeah, so this is an insect. I love the texture that that Flex Seal puts on. Because that's not going to be a mask. It'll never move. I'm not worried about it. And, hey Rob, can you hold this guy up? This guy, whose whole face we rebuilt. Not whole face, but we rebuilt it from here down, basically. All this was gone, and all that was just built out of Loctite foam. Can lay him safely back down. And I think that's it for the night, guys.
Look at one piece of this horn. It's one piece. It's gonna be this.
It doesn't make sense.
Those would be big horns. So, it's getting late. I'm going to wrap up here. We're going to start cleaning for the night. Thank you guys for watching and hanging out with us. And as I always say, go make stuff.